Dear children, kindly take out Standard 6 Social Science, Chapter 11, open at page number 92. In my previous class, we already started this chapter, and today we will discuss about the Chalukyas in the Deccan. So let's start the chapter. The Satavahanas were a powerful dynasty in the Deccan. They were followed by the Chalukyas. The most powerful king of Chalukya dynasty was Pulakeshin II. He ruled in the south at the same time as Harsha in the north. He was an ambitious ruler. He fought against Harsha and defeated him badly. He led expeditions along both the western and the eastern coasts. A prasasti that was composed by his court poet Ravikirti gives a detailed description about Pulakeshin II. After the death of Pulakeshin II, the Chalukya rule declined. Later, this dynasty was completely destroyed by another Deccan power, the Rashtrakutas. Next, we will see the Pallavas. The Pallavas were the officers of the Satavahana kings. Later, when the Satavahanas' empire declined, they became independent. They made Kanchipuram their capital. Mahendravarma I was the first important ruler of Pallavas. He was the great patron of art, literature, and architecture. But his son Narasimha Varman I was the greatest ruler of the Pallava dynasty. The Pallavas established their rule by defeating the Pandyas, the Cheras, and the Cholas. After Narasimha Varma's death, the Pallava dynasty began to decline by the end of the 9th century. The Pallavas were defeated by the Cholas and the dynasty came to an end. Administration in these kingdoms. In the Gupta period, though the kingship was hereditary, powers and administration was decentralized. The empire was divided into provinces ruled by the governors who were advised and assisted by the members chosen from all districts. Provinces were divided into districts and districts were divided into villages. So now we will see the division of Gupta Empire and its offices. Division and officers, empire, king, provinces, uparikas, districts, Vishwapatis, villages, gramikas. Next, we'll discuss sources of revenue. The major source of income was land revenue. 1/4 to 1/6 of the land revenue was collected as tax. The government servants were paid in cash. Land grants replaced cash payments. This practice suggests the emergence of feudalism in India. Society. People led simple life in the villages, but in towns and cities they enjoyed luxurious life. Most of the people were vegetarians, honest and law-abiding. Rigid caste system became more severe due to the onset of several subcastes. Sudras were treated badly by higher castes. Women led restricted life in the society and were considered inferior to men. Next, we'll see trade. Inland as well as the overseas trade activities took place during early Gupta period. Inland trade carried the raw materials and finished products to different parts of India. Overseas trade was with the Roman Empire, China, Java, Cambodia, Sumatra, Afghanistan, Arabia, and Iran. Silk, sandalwood, pearls, spices, precious and semi precious stones. Perfumes, indigo, and herbs were the main items that to be exported to these countries. Children, turn the page. Next, we'll see religion. Religion gained importance in the Gupta period. Though the rulers were Hindu, they were tolerant towards other religious faiths. They worshipped Lord Vishnu. The Bhakti and Avatar cult became popular. Idol worship in the temples became a common feature of Hinduism from the Gupta period. Gupta rulers ruled without any discrimination. Art and architecture. The Guptas were great patrons of art and architecture. In sculpture, India made great progress under the Guptas. A large number of beautiful temples with the Sikara symbol were built during this period. The stone temple of Deogarh and the brick temple at Bhitrigaon are the two specimens of this period. Three of the finest Ajanta caves assigned by the historians to the Gupta period further illustrate the great advancement that the Guptas had made in the field of architecture. Literature. In the Gupta period, Sanskrit regained its lost glory and importance. Kalidas was the most famous poet and writer of this period, who wrote famous book Abhigyana Sakuntalam and Meghadutta. Panchatantra, a collection of animal fables, was also a wonderful writing of this period. Advancement in science and technology. The Gupta age was also an age of science. Two famous scientists of this age were Aryabhatta and Barhamihir. Aryabhatta, a famous astronomer and mathematician of this period, wrote about the solar and lunar eclipse and discovered that the earth moves on its axis. See children, Aryabhatta. Round the sun. And Barhamihir had thrown light on various aspects of botany, geography, etc. Great physicians like Brahma Gupta, Vanabhatta and Dhanvantari also adored this era. Indian mathematicians during this period used the decimal system of numerals. The Gupta age produced master smiths who had profound knowledge of metals. They made experiment of mixing metals to make alloys. The iron pillar at Mehruli is a proof of that. Army. During this period, the kings maintained well organized army with elephants, chariots, cavalry and foot soldiers, but at this time we find different changes. The military leaders provided the king with troops whenever he required them. In return, they got grants of land. They were called samantas. They collected revenue from the land. This revenue was used to maintain soldiers and horses and also for warfare. Whenever the ruler was weak, some samantas tried to become independent. Local assemblies in South India. A number of local assemblies is mentioned in the inscriptions of the Pallavas. This included the Sabha, that was an assembly of Brahmin landowners. These assemblies functioned through subcommittees which looked after irrigation, making roads, temples, agricultural operations, etc. The Yuvar was a village assembly of non-Brahmin landowners, and the Nagaram was an organization of merchants. Probably these assemblies were controlled by the rich and powerful landowners and merchants. Many of these local assemblies continued to function for centuries. Causes of decline. Now we will discuss the causes of decline. The Gupta Empire broke up. They disappeared by the middle of 6th century CE. The main reasons were these: 1. Weak successors. The successors of Chandragupta II were weak and inefficient. There were many wars for succession which made them further feeble. Point 2. System of land grants. The system of land grants reduced the revenue. The officers who got land grants became richer. They started gaining power. Point 3. Large empire. A vast empire created many problems. It was difficult to run such a large empire by the weak successors of Chandragupta II. Governors took advantages of these situations and started declaring them independent. Point 4. Huns invention. The nomadic tribes of Central Asia, known as the Huns, and made regular and repeated invention which proved disastrous for the Gupta Empire and became a main reason for its downfall. Point 5. Decline in trade. The income of Gupta kings was affected by the decline of foreign trade. The advantages from Gujarat trade gradually disappeared as guild of silk weavers migrated from Gujarat to Malwa. Although the rule of the imperial Guptas lingered till the middle of 6th century CE, their grand and majestic glory had ended a century earlier. Students, here some meanings are given. You write down these meanings in the SST copy and learn. Thank you.